Let's move on to the sixth. That's right. We got 7 main topics today, guys. Let's move on to the sixth main topic today. And the sixth main topic today, I did not bring up where is our sixth main topic today? There's our sixth main topic today. And our sixth main topic today gets sent in to us from Diego Cruz, who writes, in 2002, Danny Boyle directed the iconic zombie apocalypse movie 28 Days Later, which they never call them zombies, which became one of my favorite movies of the genre. The sequel, 28 Weeks Later, was released in 2007, and both movies were well received by the public and critics. Now, the director told The Independent that a third film is in the works, with the Ex Machina filmmaker Alex Garland, who of course wrote the screenplay for the first films, who wrote the 2002 original. Do you think we will finally get a trilogy? All right, thanks for sending that in. And yes, Danny Boyle's been in the news a lot lately, not just because of all the films he is working on. He was, of course, going to be directing the new Bond film, and that famously fell apart. But anyway, talking about this series that is beloved, I believe 28 Days Later was recently ranked, I think it was IGN did like the top 20 best horror films of all time. And I think they listed that in like the top 20. But a lot of people love these 28 days, 28 weeks later films. Danny Boyle was talking, and he said the following. I take with the commentary, this is coming from IndieWire, who wrote, Alex Garland and I have had a wonderful idea for the third part, Boyle said. It's properly good. The original film led to a bit of a resurgence in the zombie drama, and it doesn't reference any of that. It doesn't feel stale at all. Alex is concentrating on directing his own work at the moment, so it stood in abeyance, really. But it's you never know. So here we've got Danny Boyle now, saying, of course, Garland went on to direct not only Ex Machina, but also Annihilation, which a lot of people really like. So he's kind of seen as a director right now. But Danny Boyle is saying, and Alex Garland has made comments to these as well, they've talked and they've come up with an idea for a third film. They're not saying it's absolutely, definitely going to happen, but they are saying they've got the idea, they love the idea, and they think it'll work. Rob, understanding that while these were not really super successful movies, they were very popular amongst the people who watched them, very popular and influential. Do you think with these guys having an idea and the power and the leverage that their names bring, do you think we're going to see a 28 months later at some point?
You know, I would say so, because remember, these were not expensive movies to make.
That's true, yeah.
You know, I love 28 Days Later and the way they showed a devastated London. I mean, famously, they would stop traffic on Sunday mornings to get those big, wide shots. I heard, and this might be apocryphal, but I heard they hired like really hot girls to come to when they were stopping traffic, and they were the girls that were stopping the traffic like at Sunday mornings, and we're talking
actually a brilliant idea
in central London, and they were shooting with probably 28 cameras because they were using little tiny video cameras. It was shot on video, and they did some really brilliant things to give you some epic scale to their devastated London, and I really liked both movies. I thought 28 Weeks Later was really good too. I was surprised how good it was. And why not? I mean, zombies are still as popular as they ever were. The Walking Dead, who would have thought The Walking Dead's still on TV? And it really did bring about the zombie resurgence. I mean, I know they're not zombies. It was the rage virus that stopped. Right. But I could see it happening. And I would love to see Danny Boyle and Alex Garland team up again, especially after what Alex Garland did. I mean, writing Dread and basically directing it and making Annihilation and making Ex Machina and what Danny Boyle's made. If the two of them are going to collaborate, and if Boyle comes back to direct and Garland writes, or Garland writes and directs and Boyle produces, we're going to get something pretty cool. I'd love to see it. Bring it on. But it doesn't sound like it's like going to happen now.
Aaron, do you think there's a possibility we could get the third one, or do we even need a third one?
Well, I think that's kind of happening. I mean, he's already put the wheels in motion. Simply saying it and talking about the third part, I think that these are things that are being laid down as groundwork. This isn't what we were talking about earlier, which is a random quote that people are then spinning out of control. He's literally inviting us to the party and saying, "Hey, I'm going to have a dinner party. If I do, would any of you guys show up?" And so that's the way that I read it. I do have to say though. 28 Days Later came out 2 years after the Sandra Bullock alcoholic rehab film, 28 Days.
Right.
And as you guys know, I'm usually a little late to the party when it comes to seeing movies. And I saw 28 days later thinking that it was the Sandra. So you can imagine my surprise as I'm waiting for Sandra Bullock to show up, and I'm like, where is she? And who are the rest of these people? Are they all drunk? What's going on? So I was very confused. I was quite happy when someone finally explained that to me. So yeah, don't make that mistake. If you haven't seen 28 Days Later, it is not about rehab.
Or maybe it's a big allegory. Maybe it's a giant
It's
allegory,
all
just
an
like
allegory.
The Boys.
Exactly.
All right, guys, question is, what do you think about Danny Boyle's comments? Do you think they indicate that, yeah, this is going to happen? Do you think it will? Do you think they should? Jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys.